me, Mario.
Good day, urban gamers, and welcome to another episode of Four Brothers in the Basement. I am your host, Fox Dorsey, joined with me by Lex Dorsey.
What up?
Will Dorsey.
He's on my side.
Double O Riser.
I'm here.
And we have a special guest, another brother in the basement. Give it up for BDM 06. Yeah!
I thought we had all
BDM, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem, no problem. Go ahead and tell people out there real quick, what are your top 3 favorite games you're playing right now?
Right now, well, I just purchased some. You know, I just have a kid now, so it's hard for me to do it. So I got Max Payne 3.
Welcome to the club.
Right. Max Payne 3.
Okay.
Walking Dead. And Call of Duty like crazy.
Okay. Now, which Call of Duty? Black Ops?
Of course.
Okay.
2.
Okay.
Be specific here.
Black Ops 2. He's getting into that. On today's show, we're going to be looking at launch titles and exclusive titles day one. Can they really move consoles? And after that, we're going to be giving you our top 5 launch titles of all time. But first things first, let's see what everybody's been playing. Lex, what you been playing?
Well, I've been playing Remember Me, Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS, and still my LOL on the PC.
Will, what you been playing?
He still sucks on LOL. So
You know what? You never play with me, so I know.
I'm still hitting the beta for Final Fantasy 14, and I already got my pre-order.
Wait, you're in the beta for Final Fantasy?
He been in the beta
I
for
am
a whole
so mad at Square Enix. They messed up my registration. They won't let me back into my account under Fox Dorsey. I don't want to play under no other name than Fox Dorsey. And they won't, like, I got some words for Square Enix. Double O Rice, what you been playing?
I've been playing the beta on Final Fantasy 14.
Don't you already got a problem with Enix now?
That's because they keep messing things up.
First Kingdom Hearts, now it's Final Fantasy. What's next?
I've been doing that. I've also been playing a little bit more of Monster Hunter Ultimate 3, and I would be playing Last of Us if someone played it.
First.
No,
We're not going to talk
singers.
about that. BDM, is there anything else you're playing right
You know,
now?
I was playing a little bit of Sonic on the Xbox. You know, I was downloading it. You can download the episodes, so I was doing that a little bit. A little nostalgia.
So you're into the episodic
A little
episode?
bit. It's convenient. You know.
We're going to have fun today. Well, everyone knows that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 will be around the corner any minute. Already, major retailers have stopped taking pre-orders for the devices. I know GameStop has said they were no longer taking pre-orders for either the PlayStation
Both
4,
of them.
both of them. Amazon
Both
and
of them as well.
eBay, they both, well not eBay, but Amazon has stopped taking pre-orders. So if you guys haven't gone out to pre-order your console, like me, and I just did it, so make sure you go check your local retails, go into the stores. I wouldn't recommend doing it online. You want to go to the store. Yeah, it's just something about reserving it online. It's just, I don't think that you're gonna get it day one if you do it online. I think you just have better luck going into the store, asking the person who takes, okay, is this a day one receipt? But we're definitely gonna do a report on, you know, pre-ordering your console. But what we want to look at right now are the launch title games, the games that Sony and Microsoft and even Nintendo, for an extent, say that these are the games that are going to be here day one for your console. This is the reason why you should buy our console. I think console launch titles are very important. Other people on the show have a different opinion about it. So let's just go ahead and jump into the launch titles that are confirmed. So for the Xbox, we have Dead Rising, which looks excellent. Forza, did I say it right?
You can never say it.
Forza Motorsports.
Forza.
Sorry, racers.
5. I'm not a racist. I don't say it right. That's also coming out. You got Killer Instinct for the Xbox One. Knack Sports Rivals. Is that the new sequel? I don't think anyone's really excited about that. Seeing how that better be an in-game package. That better be in. If they're making us buy Connects, it better be in the system.
That's free. That's free.
It better be free. Knack Sports Rival better be free.
It's fine.
Right. $5, it better be free. What else? Loco Cycle. I just saw a trailer to that. That looks pretty nice.
Fun. Yeah, it was
pretty
I
fun.
liked it.
And not to be forgotten, Rise. For the PlayStation 4, there hasn't been as many confirmed exclusive day one titles. You have Knack, of course. Driver Club, which I thought looked really good.
Free for the first week if you have a PlayStation 4.
Yay!
Pre-order and get on it. Of course, I feel like now one of their flagship shooters for every console, Killzone. There's a new Killzone coming out, and a game called Warframe. Now, guys, just based off of the titles that you heard, we're not talking about the multi games that are coming out, not the Call of Duties, not the FIFAs, not the Maddens, not Watch Dogs, not Assassin's Creed. Let's put those to the side because they're coming out on both systems.
Okay.
Based off of the exclusive day one titles that we already know, are there any of these titles that stand out to you that say, hey, I'm going to get the system because of that? Will shaking his head. Go ahead. Why not?
No, there's nothing that's coming out is anything that piques my interest at all. All of these games seem like mediocre games. I mean, sorry for the racing car games. As far as that goes, I'm not a racing car game. My girlfriend seems to keep beating me in those, so that kind of puts me away from those. So other than that, I mean, Destiny, everything's coming out in 2014, so I'm just gonna wait 2014.
So what you're saying is there's no reason for you to even go out and pre-order a system that has no good games out until the next following.
No,
year,
and if I was, it was gonna be PS4.
Okay, so if it was and it was PS4, why based off of these games?
Just for not based off of those games, but for the games that are coming out. Those are the
The games that are coming out. Okay. What about you guys? Is anything on this list?
No, not really. My vote will be behind Will's. Same thing. Games are coming out future-wise in 2014. I'm off with them, but these launch titles don't really pique my interest at all.
Okay, so do you guys even go? Yeah, go ahead.
So my statement is that I just don't feel like any of these launch titles are supposed to be for selling the units anymore. I think like when they do these press conferences, they're talking more about what this box can do for your house. You know, how can it involve your whole family and all those things like that. And I think that's what they're spending the majority of their time on. And it's clear by the list you're about to share now that, you know, it's not about the game anymore. I think these companies are forgetting about the gamers and now thinking about the casual market.
Okay.
There's money there.
You're only thinking about one company.
One system. Can we talk about the moon for a second?
Well, don't throw Sony out.
So what you're saying is it's not necessarily software anymore.
Right.
As far as
more of the hardware.
Like you said, the inbox components as far as the hardware and the apps that are going to come with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, we have TV. Oh, we do this. Or we can switch. We're a tuner. I don't know. Those things.
He said we're a tuner.
It can help you watch TV on your TV.
Yeah, right.
Devil Horizon, was there anything on this list that's going to make you say, that's the system I'm going to get day one?
Thank God for multi-platform games.
Right.
That's all I gotta say. Honestly, to be honest, there's not a single exclusive game that's sitting there telling me, ooh, I want to get this, ooh, I want to get this. Besides Drive Club, which is free. Thank God they're giving us a free game for PS4. Only ones I'm actually looking for, Battlefield 4 and Watch Dogs, but those are just, once again, multi-platform.
Right.
Maybe Grand Theft Auto 5 if I feel like being lazy about getting it in September.
Okay, yeah, but I was gonna say if you're talking about games that are coming out for this current system, are you really gonna wait? Okay, so let's take perfect example, Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto's coming out in not even 2 months, like
September 17th.
One more good solid month, it'll be here. Mm-hmm. Are you really gonna wait?
No.
From that time that it comes out all the way to that's just like the Wii U. Who really went out and bought Batman Rearmored? Nobody went out and rebought Batman Rearmored.
I said,
we already played it. Who went out and bought Assassin's Creed 4 for the Wii U? Like no one did it. So, but let's compare. Let's go back for a second. Look at older launch titles. Let's for the Super Nintendo jumps out at me.
Super Mario World?
Super Mario World came
Classic.
bundled in with that system.
Yes, it did.
The Super Nintendo won that generation because of that game, because it had such a well start. How come we don't see that nowadays? How come we don't see, launch titles as good as they were back then? Because if you even look at this past generation, let's look at the 360. The 360 had Perfect Dark Zero. It was a horrible game. I bought the 360 with the hopes that Perfect Dark Zero was a good game. It wasn't. It was a horrible game.
Well, the reason behind that, I can believe, is that if you think back to Super Nintendo times, and then you think back to now the 360 and PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3s, Super Nintendo didn't have the YouTubes, they didn't have the Twitters, they didn't have the ridiculously huge E3s. Mind you, E3 didn't start till like the 2000s.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. They didn't have all those like, yo, I want to throw this, I'm showing you this game, I want you to get a hand feel on it. No, when you buy something that's going to be $300-400 with no intentions or no idea of what the game is going to be like, it needs to be something epic. It needs to be something that so good that word of mouth, which is one of the most greatest free advertisements that most companies have.
Borderlands.
Borderlands, yeah, oh my god, Borderlands is like a perfect example. No one knew about Borderlands. That's like the most great super hit. But when Super Nintendo didn't have all that stuff, they had to go off a Nintendo magazine, what was it, Game Pro magazine?
But see that's funny because like you said, you mentioned all of those different areas that you can, reach the masses. How come it's the games? How come these games aren't moving these systems like they used to? Like
now,
why?
Well, now because we're older, I am one of the old school gamers. I can honestly say that back when Super Nintendo, now till now, everything seems like a huge repetition now. Just better graphics. Honestly, when it comes to every new system, all they did was brag about better graphics, better graphics, better graphics, new controller, better graphics, better graphics.
So you're saying when we hit the graphical wall, and I'm going to get to you next, Wills, because we hit the graphical wall on what we can do, and unless you're talking about augmented reality and putting on gigantic headwears, you really can't go any further with graphics. So is that one of the reasons why these launch titles aren't moving systems like they used to?
Yeah, that's one reason. I mean, if you think from Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64, boom, that was like a huge difference. Mario, you can go completely circle around him. He's in 3D. This is not a 2D flat platform that you got to go through. And then, and once again, Mario was something completely innovative. You had you had one castle, but you had like, what, 90 freaking levels that you had to go through? Different ways of stars, different achievements. And that's when they started bringing up achievements. Mario started bringing up achievements, Super Mario 64.
So you're saying that the games just aren't that good? Like
it's just not. It's not.
Let's just.
Well, see, one of the things is it takes longer to make these games nowadays because I know I read an article from MMORPG. One of the developers from Guild Wars 2 talked about how back in the day where it only took a week to make a monster, certain areas, it only took a couple of days to make that. But nowadays, because graphics are such a leap in what they used to do, it takes 4 to 6 weeks, a month to make bosses and stuff like that. And so
you're saying that these games aren't hitting launch dates, and that's why they're not as good as they used to be.
Right,
okay.
and that's exactly why consoles have to suffer because these games
because they start off with weak launch titles and then they end up getting better games maybe 3 to 6 months down the line. Go ahead.
And I think another reason that they're trying to refocus their energy on other things, like for instance, downloadable content. Like I think that's what is driving a lot of these systems to be moved now, because it's like, okay, Xbox has these maps before Sony, so it's like, okay, that's a perk. Let me go ahead and buy this Xbox, and I can have all this stuff, instantly, and they're available before everybody else. And I can master it, and I can brag about it, go on Twitter and say, hey, I just shot somebody in the face. Had the time doing it before anybody else. So
them having downloadable content even before when the game is already out is just, to me, is them just being greedy and not throwing everything that they could have had on the game.
It's already on the disc, right?
I think you're going down a different road.
But I believe that it's more focused on towards what genre people play. Like some people are more for shooters, there's a lot more for sports people out there.
Right.
I think they're trying to just focus on certain genres in the systems where they feel like they can sell more.
So they're only going to make launch titles for the more popular genres.
That's right. The shooters, the sports games,
and maybe a platform adventure game.
One or two.
Here's a better question. Do you think that's just for every system, or is that just a region thing?
I think that's.
Let's be serious.
I think that's a region thing.
Yeah. Because in different regions you got different genres, and
right.
then even then,
They take
a
more
game,
risk overseas.
Yeah, a game may come out in Japan as a launch title, but that game may not even see the light of day
In US.
overseas.
Right.
So-
Because it doesn't translate well.
Right,
You know?
exactly. So the consensus that I'm getting from my fellow brothers is that these launch titles aren't moving games. You're not gonna buy an Xbox One because you saw how epic Rise was, because Rise wasn't that epic. You're not gonna buy a PlayStation 4 because you've never seen some of the games in Knack, where in reality Knack looks like an updated version of Crash Bandicoot. I'm just saying.
That just happened.
I'm just saying.
Just happened.
So.
Wow.
So if you're not a hardcore, oh my god, I gotta get it day one. Wait. There's no reason for you guys to run out here and spend hundreds of dollars on essentially a one game system, because you're only gonna buy one game. You're not gonna know a lot of people who are playing it, and you're gonna have to wait until February, March when the real games do come out.
And then not to mention all the setbacks that each system's gonna have. Xbox 360, or Xbox period.
Let the hardcore, for a better lack of a word, let the hardcore nerds purchase these systems, come to us, figure out what's wrong with these systems when they first. Wait until real games come out, because this holiday season, there's only going to be 6 games on the shelves for the Xbox One, 6 games for the PlayStation 4. If you go into a retailer, they're going to tell you, you should buy this $60 to $70 game when your kid is only going to play it for, what, two weeks, and never pick it up again. Because for the last, I'll say, two or three generations, launch titles have not been moving consoles, and they've been mediocre at best, with an exception of 1 or 2 good games in that bunch. Yeah. But with that being said, let's talk about our top 5 favorite launch titles of all time. We ran out of time. Let's go to our number 5. It's Wii Sports.
Yay!
Everybody likes Wii Sports. That's the only game that people move. You can't get a Wii for Wii Sports.
I didn't have a Wii. I didn't have a Wii. As you can see, I didn't have a Wii for launch title. That's all that was.
So you never bowled with your grandma? Come on, man.
Grandma didn't want to do that.
Number 4, Tetris.
Should be higher.
For the Game Boy.
I wasn't born. That was not fair.
Some of our voters weren't born when only one when the Game Boy first came out.
Let me tell you, I spent hours and hours ignoring my sister because of Tetris. Thank you, Tetris.
I spent weeks and weeks ignoring my mom because of Tetris.
Our number 3 in our top 5 is Halo Combat Evolved. Halo is the reason why I bought an Xbox. I saw all these people playing Halo. I was like, oh, so ain't nobody playing 007 no more? Well, fine. I'm going to go buy an Xbox and play Halo and mess everybody up.
LAN parties.
We did game competitions.
Halo opened it up for LAN parties. That was crazy.
That was fun.
4 systems in one room, 16 controllers, 4 TVs.
Changed my life.
Halo changed our life. Number 2,
Loved you, college.
Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo NES. I don't know anyone who's beaten all of Superstar World.
No.
What are you talking about?
What? Yes.
All those extra bonus stages in Star Wars World.
Me and Eddie were talking about that at work.
Wait. There's some people out there who've never even seen those levels.
Wow.
Yup.
We're not gonna name any names. Marquise.
So shots at me.
No, not you. We had somebody else that they've never seen it. But our number 1 all-time top launch game of all time, hands down, Super Mario 64. There's nothing wrong that you can say about that game. That you could put that game in right now and spend hours trying to collect all 120 stars.
You wouldn't even go to work.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's that much fun. It ushered in a new world of 3D gameplay. Super Mario 60 World changed the game, changed the industry, and it was a launch title.
Even though you broke your joystick playing it.
It's a funny thing. Nintendo has the top 5, almost the whole top 5.
But actually, Nintendo has the whole list.
So Nintendo, as for ideal, they
Nintendo
released
Halo.
those.
Yeah.
They was like, they were done giving out the good games, and they was gonna go with the mediocre games and let the good games come out later. I think Nintendo is probably the who started that. I think Nintendo was the first one to start.
That's our show for today. And remember, people, there's a gamer in all of us. You just need the right game.
C4.
I want to do it too.